Hey everybody, Nakul here from Skills PT Academic. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with yet another super awesome packed video on PT Reading Fill in the Blanks Complete Cheat Sheet. Well, before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance. You can check the information in the description of this video. Well, after WhatsApp link, you can click on the link, send us a message. We will do the needful. Also to tell you, recently we released our 3 official ebooks. The first was PT Speaking Cheat Code, second was PT Reading Cheat Code, and the third is a match-winning approach to PTE. If you don't want to miss out on any of these contents in the ebook, which apparently will help you get a perfect 90 overall on the very first go, the links are in the description. You can buy it as a combo and avail some discount as well. Alright, without any further delay, let's straight away get right into the video. When we talk about the PT Reading Fill in the Blanks Complete Cheat Sheet, remember there are 4 things, the 4 sentences, the 4 principles that you need to be aware of. The very first principle is context is the king. Second is collocation is the queen. Third is grammar is the prince. And who is the princess? Vocabulary is the princess. These 4 pillars of the kingdom, if you understand, trust me, reading fill in the blanks become a cakewalk. So today in this video, we can understand the context, which is the king, the collocation, which is the queen, the grammar, which is the prince, and the vocabulary, which is the princess. In the beginning, I'll explain you what is context, grammar, collocation method, vocabulary method with some example, and then we take a comprehensive test wherein you get to practice, you get to understand your mistakes, and I will be explaining you the approach. So we'll start with the very first pillar. What is the context? Let's say you have this question. I'll add a timer of 2.5 minutes. Try solving it in under 2.5 minutes. Post 2.5 minutes, I'm going to come back and explain what contextual skills is all about. Let's start. Alright, I really hope you have solved it. So let's understand, if you are not understanding the context, where exactly you stand, what kind of mistakes you make, and if you understand them, how easy it is to get 5 out of 5. So what is contextual skills? Let's quickly understand. When you read this, in historical terms, sugar is as cheap today as it's ever been. So they're talking about sugar, probably historical terms, the origin of sugar. How did the sugar originate? Isn't it? So its price has consistently fallen Means earlier it was here, it has come down. Isn't it? At further centuries ago, sugar extracted from sugarcane was expensive. It wasn't considered. If it is expensive, can you really afford it? Everybody cannot afford it. It wasn't considered a food dash. Now this is the context. If you understand the previous lines and the next lines from the dash, from the blank, only then you will be able to solve. This lot of people don't do. What they do, it wasn't considered a food, it wasn't considered a food, considerable. It wasn't considered a food, confections. It wasn't considered a food chain. Food chain, wow, collocation, right? Just like that, by listening to their heart, lungs, kidney, intestine, people just go with it. Now if you properly understand, since it's very expensive, it wasn't a staple food. What's a staple food in India? Let's say rice. Rice is not very expensive compared to other products, isn't it? A staple food is the one that is used in everyday life. So it's not considered a food staple. Right now it is a food staple. Everyone wants coffee, tea with sugar, isn't it? We're all used to that sugar now, that sugar kick we need, isn't it? So it's a staple food right now. It wasn't before, so it wasn't considered a food staple. If you understand the context, then only you will be able to do it. So this is what the contextual skills I'm talking about. Develop that, read books, read novels. This will become a cakewalk. We'll continue. Dash like now. It wasn't a food staple like now, but a condiment or medicine, something used in very small quantities. It was a status symbol. If you could afford sugar, if you could afford sugar items, so now sugar items, something has to come. Getting it? Meaning I'm trying to figure out what has to come even before looking at the options. This is the contextual skills. Hope you are getting it. Now, if you could afford dash, it was a status symbol. If you could afford sugary products, I need sugary products. Considerable is not sugary products. Confections is a sugary product. Now, contextually, you would know confections is perfect. Also, grammar-wise, you can figure out. If you could afford a confection, A is not there, confections. If you could afford apples, if you could afford an apple. Using grammar also we can fix it. Grammar we will talk about in just a while. But second is also pure context. If you could afford confections, that's a demonstration of your wealth. Now the demonstration of your wealth is a gold chain, car, bungalow. Earlier it was sugar, man. So this context, this story, meaning a writer has written a story. Your job is to predict what the writer has written, but most of the people end up choosing a blank, which will create a new story. Don't create a new story. Story is already there. Isn't it so? The third one, that encouraged ruthless and dash Europeans. Now people write humble Europeans. No, they were not humble. Ruthless and humble will never go together. Ruthless and probably entrepreneurial means someone is focused on making a big business out of it. Isn't it? So it's not humble. Now again, it's contextual skills. Entrepreneurial Europeans. Now, one of their innovations was the plantation system, which used dash labor. Labor, you enslave them. Again, a collocation with the proper contextual skills. That's the reason it is ruthless. You take one big stick and stand right next to them. You hold them at a gunpoint and tell them, hey, work. They ask money, you again shoot them. That is enslaved labor probably. So it's enslaved labor. And the last one, growing a single plant over time, dash what were once very fertile soils. Soil depletion. That's the context. Growing a single plant over time depleted what were once very fertile soils. Hope you are getting it. So it's all about the story. This is what the contextual skills about. This is what you need to figure out how to apply them. Every blank will not be based on pure context, but there would be some blanks based on context, there would be some based on collocation, there would be some based on grammar, there would be some based on vocabulary. You as a person, as a PTE student, become more mature towards it, accordingly apply. For this, every question, you need to know that, okay, this is what it is, or this is context, this is grammar, this is collocation, this can be applied via vocabulary. That will happen over the time, but you should take the first step. Isn't it? Don't just rely on the heart. Now we quickly move on to grammar part. Remember, grammar was the prince. If context is a king, king's son is grammar. I made many videos on the same, on how to utilize the grammar rules, grammar shortcuts. You can check them out. There are so many. Just type skills PTE grammar. You will get many. Here I'll show you how to implement them. Implementation is the part, isn't it? So I'm going to give you a question, 2.5 minute timer on my bottom right. Try doing it. Post 2.5 minutes, I'm gonna come back and show you how to do it. Let's start. All right, let's understand how to do this. Greenland has been a part of the Kingdom of Denmark since the 14th century. It was, after wars, perhaps ED will come. It was given, it was developed, it was eaten. Not all the time, but mostly it was effectively something with ED. It was effectively isolated, it was effectively proclaimed, it was effectively colonized. Now get the context. Using grammar, we figured out isolated, proclaimed, or colonized. Only three can fit in. But context is the king. Like I told you, without a king, kingdom will not survive. Now the king, the context says, Greenland has been a part of Denmark since 14th century. It was effectively dash in the 18th century. Isolated? No, it was effectively colonized. Context, colonized in the 18th century by Danish missionaries and whalers. It became a colony. Now, it was a very dash place. It was a very isolated place. Makes sense. It was, again, was is there, and place is a noun. Before a noun, adjective has to come. V3, verb 3, isolated, demonstrated, tested, developed. They all can be used as adjectives. So now isolated, proclaimed. Proclaimed is to announce. It's an isolated place. Isn't it? It was a very isolated place. Don't interchange 1 and 2. The third one, the United States, is a noun. After noun, verb will come. What is a verb here? Proclaimed is a verb, prevent is a verb, and then took is a verb. Only 3 verbs. Prevent, probably you cannot use because it's a present form of the verb. You need a past tense because they're talking about history. Proclaimed, you never proclaim charge. You always take charge. Collocation. The princess is about to come now. Getting it? So it took charge as a collocation. The next one, Greenland could be a. After A, what has to come? After A, noun has to come. A boy, a girl, a staging process. A staging what? Now get the context a little bit. Greenland could be a staging dash against the Soviet Union. After a, noun has to come. Now if we look at the noun, we have weapon and ground. Aggressive, he is aggressive, he is good. Aggressive is adjective. Only weapon and ground. Greenland could be a weapon, staging weapon. You don't say, it's always a staging ground. This is a ground so that they can put their missiles here and start shooting. Hope you are getting it. It's a staging ground. And the last one, and the US desired to, after to, verb has to come. The only verb in the present tense is prevent, to prevent a Chinese presence there. Remember, you got to mix the context, you got to mix the grammar, then only you will yield a perfect result. When you're farming, you need to consider a lot of things. This pesticide, you need to rule out. Probably you need to take the natural one. This, a lot of things you need to sow. You need to put them in a soil for it to be nourished so that it becomes a big tree, or it will yield fruits or some produce. In the same way here as well, you got to mix context and the grammar. Now the next, we're going to talk about collocations. Few words, always go with few words. Few words, always go with few words. Allocated to, adapted to. Hope you are getting it. I'm in love with you. Come over, give a walk over. They're all collocations. You can check my 6-hour full course, or recently we did 6-hour full course on the entire modules. You can have a look at the collocation part, or long time back, probably 1 or 2 years ago, I made the 6-hour fill in the blanks full course. There also I've explained more about collocations, or you can join our course, man. You have this 50-60 hour of collocation just solely based on collocations. We have the classes already done. You can enroll and avail it. Alright, so now what are collocations? When you know the collocations, when you know that this word has to come after this, it actually becomes more easier for you to solve reading fill in the blanks like this. So I'll add a timer of 2.5 minutes. Let's check a small simple collocation question. Post 2.5 minutes, I'm going to come back and show you how to do it. Let's start. Alright, let's understand how to do this. The adult stage is what most people think of when they dash off, when they think of butterflies. Think of is a collocation, so first is think of. Respond to is a collocation, respond of will not come. Second one, they look very different from the larva. The caterpillar have tiny eyes, dashed legs. You need to know how a caterpillar is. Caterpillar do not have a long legs. The caterpillar has a tiny eyes, dashed legs, stubby legs. It's like this. Tiny and thick. Stubby leg is not injured legs. They have a stubby legs is a collocation. That's why when you know them in advance, it becomes very easy. Now, what if I don't know? Let's learn. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. isn't it? And we will not read the lines. If it is purely context, you need to read. The adults have long legs, long antenna. But if it's purely based on collocation, you don't actually read. You will directly come to third blank. But how do I know if it's collocation or context? Jump and see. Third one, some species of adult butterflies get energy by. Now you read, you're not getting it. Then you decide it is not collocation, it is not grammar. Then you go back and read. That's the only way, trial and error. But let's say, what if the next blank is based on collocation like this one? Then you will actually save time, isn't it? Don't get energy. Energy by feeding on, feed on, eat. Getting it, feeding on is a collocation, so feeding will be the third one. The next is flying comes in. Now again, after feeding on nectar from a flowers, I'm not reading it, I'm directly going to the next line and checking my luck, if I'm lucky today. Flying comes in, handy, that's a collocation, comes useful. If you don't know this, let's say you're not able to figure out because you're very poor in collocation, then you go back and read, get the context and do it. But let's say you are so good, you're too good in collocation, this becomes very quick. Meaning collocations comes in handy. That comes in handy is here. The last one, most butterflies live only 1 or 2 weeks, but some species dash. Most butterflies live 1 or 2 weeks, but some species dash during the winter. During the winter, now this is not exactly collocation, this could be a context as well, because they live several months, meaning they're not doing any activity, they hibernate. High butterflies or animals actually hibernate during winters. It's very cold out there. If they're not used to such a weather, they will not go out, they will not do any activity, they'll just sit, hibernate. So that's what, so when you have the collocation knowledge, it becomes more easier. Towards the end, we have a list of questions purely based on collocations. Now we'll quickly move on to the next one, the next pillar, the last pillar, prince or princess, vocabulary. I'm adding a timer of probably 2.5 minutes. Try solving it, post 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna come back and show you how to do it. Let's start. Alright, let's first understand some of the vocabulary. Draining means getting tired. It drains the battery. Elusive is something that is deceptive. Something it looks like that but it is not. Getting it, artisan. Now you need to know this. Small scale the artist, the people who do the handcraft and all, they're called artisans. You need to know this. Now, grower, someone who grows. Grower is someone who grows. Getting it, envision means your vision. Vision is a noun. The vision, to vision is wrong, to envision. Hope you're getting it. Now we will try to understand how to do this. Women are leading the way, particularly in smaller dash perfume companies, in smaller artisan perfume companies. Now you know the vocabulary, it's very easy for you to do it. Otherwise, it's difficult. Hope you're getting it. So reading a book, indulging yourself in a novel every now and then will actually give you this vocabulary boost so that you can do it quickly. These often play a positive ecological role. They work with some companies, small sustainable companies, something with S has to come, noun has to come. Here growers is the only thing that is fitting in. So you cannot say they work with small sustainable artisan. They work with small sustainable artisans, or they work with a small sustainable artisan. A artisan or an artisan, an apple, he met a boy. If A is not there, boys. He went to markets or he went to a market. This is article concept, so using that as well you will figure out. But yes, first is artisan, second is growers, third is to make commercial fragrance or fragrance less environmentally damaging or draining. Hope you are getting it. The next is, interestingly, there is also dash global growth. This is a simple one. Great global growth or good global growth would be significant global growth, vocabulary based or collocation based, seeking natural fragrances in a wider range of products, many of which women now view, watch, envision and manufacture. So here, most importantly, it is artisan and growers. If you get it, you most probably would get 5 out of 5. Now the next thing is how to learn the vocabulary. It's not a very straightforward answer. Correct? Learning vocabulary is a bit trickier because it's not just about knowing the words, it's about predicting the meaning of a word from the story, from the context. So you take up a novel, start reading it, indulge yourself in the story. Even if there is a difficult word, from the context, you will develop the knack of identifying what the word is from the context. You wouldn't need a dictionary. So this is a reading skill. This you develop all these things automatically. The vocabulary wise, you will start doing it at ease. Now we will do some practice. I've got some 4-5 questions, which includes all these collocations, grammar, contextual skills, and vocabulary. Let's start with the very first question. Don't just do it blindly. Whatever the approach that I just talked about, utilize them for the fact that I've spoken it, putting some efforts. Utilize them and do it. 2.5 minute timer. Post 2.5 minutes, I'm going to come back and show you how to do it. Let's start. All right, let's understand how to do this. Each year, the small South Australian town of Walla becomes dash to collocation, home to. Becomes home to one of the most spectacular underwater events. The dash of, after the noun should come, the giant of giant, he is giant. The giant elephant, giant is adjective. In or on at cannot come. Spawning, I don't know the meaning, let's say. Playful, he is good, he is playful. It's adjective. Home is already done. Boost, you need to boost, to eat, verb. Interest, the interest. So we have two things. One is interest, other is spawning. The interest of the giant Australian cuttlefish is not fitting in. The spawning, if you're still confused, leave it empty and continue. We will come back to this in just a while. Now, second paragraph, no need to read. We will directly come to this. Once only of. Once only. It is of great interest to me. It is of great interest to you. Interest to. It is of dash to. Interest to. It is of interest to. Everything is fitting in of and to. In between a blank, it's of interest to. Interest would be the third one. If interest is the third one, second one has to be spawning. Spawning is reproducing. It's a biological term. Interest to fishermen and local scuba divers who would spread the word to one another that cuttles have just come. They are giant. No, they are in. This is pure context. Let's say cuttles have just arrived to this place, and all the fishermen's, local divers who make money out of it, who sell this fish and make a living, they all spread the word. You know what? Cuttles are in. Come, come, come. Get that big net. Get that big net. The big fish net and all. So its cuttles are in. The context, because of the context, it is in, not any other things like playful and all. The last one, it's a welcome dash to. It's a welcome boost to something. Boost to something is a collocation. It's a welcome boost is also a collocation. Hope you are getting it. So first is becomes home to, second is spawning. Spawning is mating or reproducing, which is even evident if you see it over there in the third paragraph or the third line. It says cuttlefish mating that occurs. So its spawning is to reproduce. So first is home to, second is spawning, third is only of interest to, the fourth is cuttles are in, and the fifth is it's a welcome boost. Keep a track of the mistakes that you have done. We quickly move into the next question. Keep a track of the mistakes that you have done. 2.5 minute timer on the bottom right. Let's start. All right, let's understand how to do this. It's an easy one, not so difficult. Scientists have found new but great evidence, bad evidence, good evidence, compelling evidence, something of an adjective. Evidence, evidence, homely evidence. You never say evidence is a noun. You need adjective, not adverb. Dinosaur evidence, animal evidence, tentative evidence. I think that's the only adjective. Tentative is tentatively, temporarily, not strong enough. Tentative evidence that a dash world. Now it's a collocation. It's a far away world. Getting it? Far away world orbiting another star may be home to. There is a faraway world, other universe, which also has a life. Not animal or dinosaur, it is life. Pure context. And if you continue reading, probably towards the end, you get this word multiple times. In the end, this is the strongest evidence, and there is possibly life out there. They're talking about life, the soul, the nourishing life there. It is not animal or dinosaur, it's home to life. Life is the third one. So those of you who have written third one wrong, pure contextual skills problem, meaning you're relying on your heart, kidney, lungs, randomly going with it. Getting it right? Then we will come to the fourth one. A Cambridge team studying the atmosphere of a planet called K2-18b has, you always detect a sign, again collocation, detected. In the last one, obtain the, after the noun should come, the clinching dash, the clinching animals, the clinching, no other word is fitting, it's the clinching evidence. Hope you are getting it. The first is tentative evidence, second is faraway world, maybe home to life, fourth is detected signs, clinching evidence. We quickly move on to the third one, another one or two questions before we end this video. Give your best to solve this. 2-minute timer is a very simple one. 2-minute timer, post 2 minutes, I'm going to come back and show you how to do it. Let's start. Alright, let's understand how to do this. I've always believed that regular exercise does more than just dash you in shape, keep you in shape. Collocation. The next one, you know how people say they work up a sweat to blow off, to blow off the steam. That's a collocation. Work up a sweat to blow off the steam means something of a strenuous activity that you've indulged in. Blow off steam. The third one, whether it's going for a gym or hitting the gym, is a collocation. Going for a brisk walk is a collocation. And the last one, my friend and I often, you have to make time for PD. Make time is a collocation. A very simple one, just made this question to give you more understanding on what collocations are. We go to the last one, a bit trickier, 2.5-minute timer. Here you go. All right, let's understand how to do this. If the tiger begins to physically attack, it's unlikely it has decided that it's going to attack. It's not likely that it's going to stop. Correct? Not flee. We'll talk when we use flee here. It's unlikely to stop, continue making as much noise as possible and use whatever you have to defend yourself, to shield yourself, collocation, and strike back in self-defense. Avoid playing. This is the context. Avoid playing tactics is what they say. No, it's avoid playing dead. Because the next line says, if the tiger is attacking you out of interest in eating you, it wants to eat you, then even if you play dead, it will eat you. The next line is a clue which tells you that it is not tactics, it's playing dead. Playing dead could be a tactics, but playing dead is a specific word that you need to go with. It's pure context. Avoid playing dead. If the tiger is attacking you out of an interest in eating you, it will simply proceed. If you play dead and the tiger really wants to eat you, it will not have any more tension. You are not going to fight back. No burden in his head. It's called unencumbered. Vocabulary based. You gotta know a few, otherwise you can make a guess. Remember that your best chance of survival is convincing the tiger, please stop, no, to go away. It's not convincing it to stop and stay. You want it to go away. It's flee. The last is flee, the first is stop. Unlikely to stop, shield yourself, avoid playing dead, fourth is proceed unencumbered, and the last is flee. Hope you are getting it. I think that's all I've got for you today. Little tricky one, but I really hope you have made use of this session. Anytime you need online assistance, you can text us in the WhatsApp. The number is given in the description of this video. We're gonna help you out and put you in the right direction. All right, I think that's all for today. Really hope this was an informative content. If you believe the same, like, share and subscribe and leave your valuable comments in the comment section. This is Nakul, Nakul, Nakul signing off from Skills PT. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.